Hey T Squad, it's your girl Keisha, and I have some breaking news around Mary Cosby from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So it has been reported by TMZ that her son, Robert Jr., has found himself in hot water with the law again. They've learned that he had been arrested for a number of alleged crimes, including a schmalt and trespassing. According to an arrest report obtained by TMZ, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star's only child was arrested just outside Salt Lake City, Utah, Saturday for failure to stop at the command of law enforcement, criminal trespassing, a schmalt, and 3 alleged violations of a court order. Per the report, local police responded to a domestic call after Robert Jr. allegedly tried to break into his father-in-law's home via a dog door and schmalted someone on the front lawn. Robert Jr. allegedly failed to get on the ground when ordered to do so by the responding police officer before eventually complying and being taken into custody. Bail has been set at $5,000. This is Robert Jr.'s latest set of legal troubles. He was previously arrested in 2022 for a DUI where cops say he didn't have a license and disobeyed traffic laws. He ended up pleading guilty to the DUI, resulting in the other charges being dropped. However, the saga didn't stop there, with Robert Jr. finding himself back in court after he allegedly failed to prove he completed a court-ordered rehab stay. Though Mary previously said on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion that Robert Jr. did attend a rehabilitation program and was doing good. Let's not forget that Mary on last season opened up about her son's struggles on the Bravo series, having a viral heart-to-heart with her son in season 5, where she begged him to be honest with her about his issues. So sad. So sad. I feel so bad for him. I feel bad for Mary. I feel bad for Robert Sr. I think it's time to do tough love. I would keep him in there. I wouldn't pay the bond. I would not pay the bond if I was her. If this is the life you want to lead, then you're going to have to lead it elsewhere. You know, we have tried to help you. You are in the throes of addiction and you are not ready to face your demons. So you're going to have to find out elsewhere. If that means you going to get arrested and have to go to jail, God forbid, that might be what needs to happen to you for you to get it. Maybe be scared straight or something, because rehab, us being there as your parents, the support of fans of the show, you know, getting arrested, none of it is scaring you, obviously. So at this point, I think that if I was Mary and Robert Jr., Robert Sr., even though it would be heart-wrenching for me to do, that's the only next step that I can see. And what's crazy is yesterday I sat down and watched part 1 and part 2 of the Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix. And it literally takes the person to want to change. Nothing anybody else says or does is going to help the situation. You got to figure it out for yourself. You really honestly have to. And it's so unfortunate that he's going through the things that he's going through. I feel like it's more than just an addiction problem. I think that he probably suffers from depression and God knows whatever else. You know, it seems like he is a young man that has had everything handed to him. He's an only child. You know, the dynamics of his parents is sketchy and weird. You know what I'm saying? Who knows if he was teased because of it? You just never know the things that he has probably had to go through, you know, and what other struggles he may have dealt with. But yeah, the young man is crying out, or just, like I said, in the pits of addiction and doesn't know how to get out, or maybe does not want to get out of it yet. Mary literally was recently on Sirius XM's Reality Check radio show, and this is what she had to say about what was going on with Robert Jr. recently.
How is he? Is he doing good?
He's doing as good as he can.
Okay.
It's his journey. I told him, if you don't make your mind up, then this is all for nothing. And if it just takes a made up mind to do and execute whatever you are trying to do, you can't do it if your mind's not made up. And I can't make it up for him. I can just only push him, encourage him, and love him. And that's what I'm doing. And that's kind of where we are, but he's still on that road. And it's a hardcore road. It's tough to watch as a mom. It's hurtful to see his dad is most of the time devastated.
Sure.
But at the same time, I have hope and I believe in him. I know that his ability. I mean, I raised him, so I know he's got all the tools and he's got all the willpower that he needs.
And the support.
He just needs to make up his mind.
And this was just Wednesday. This was literally just yesterday. So the news hadn't broke yet about his arrest. It's really heart-wrenching. It really is. I feel so bad for Mary because no mom wants to see her child struggling in such a horrific way. I could only imagine what she's going through. Me being a mother of a son, a only child, baby, my world would be rocked. Okay, so I completely can understand the turmoil and probably the mixed emotions that she's going through, because like I said, I feel like at this point, you got to take your heart out of it, sit it on the table and just think with your mind, because you got to put your foot down and give tough love, because he is living a reckless existence right now. He's not even existing right about now. He's not living. He is existing. Excuse me. He's existing. He's not living, and whoever this young lady is that he's married to, not married to, she needs help. Maybe both families need to come together to do an intervention. I don't know, but he is going down a really horrific path. He really honestly is. And I pray that nothing life-threatening happens to him, but maybe he needs to get somewhere and sit down and be in a jail cell to see this ain't what I want. Maybe he have to go through getting off Schmuggs cold turkey in the jail cell and go from a beautiful mansion with everything handed to you to bologna sandwiches that's probably been sitting somewhere for the last month. Maybe he needs to go through that to see that life maybe ain't so bad after all. This ain't what I want for myself. Maybe that's what he needs to have happen to him, because this is crazy. Like, he fighting folks, trying to break in people's houses through doggy doors. Like, what's next? Because he wouldn't be allowed up in my house, because who knows what kind of hell he raising up in there. Me being somebody who had an uncle that was on Schmuggs when I was a little girl, and I used to be frightened every time he would come over to my grandmother's house, because I didn't know which Daryl we were going to get that day. Or we going to get the Daryl that was quiet, really wasn't saying much, minding his own business, or was we going to get the Daryl that came over hooping and hollering, yelling at my grandmother, throwing stuff, stealing? You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to live in fear in their own home? Maybe she should reach out to Garcelle. Maybe Garcelle can reach out to her, considering the fact that she dealt with a son with addiction, to give her some type of advice or support. It's sad. It really, truly is. And I really pray that Robert Jr. gets his life together and is able to beat this, because it is beatable, but you have to want to beat it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this story. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know when my videos drop. I love you, T Squad, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.